What's going on, my friends? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update to Bitcoin. We're also going to get in some other coins as well. Right now, Bitcoin's sitting at $39,702. We're about even on the day. What I want to do here is take a look at the one-day time frame for Bitcoin, guys, because we're at one of those critical areas again. What I like to pay attention to is the VPVR, and the area that's coming in as potential support here, an area that we've visited many times before, is going to be around $39,000. In my opinion, that's the area that we need to hold. Otherwise, we're going to be going down to lower levels around that $34,000 to $35,000, even down to $32,000 could be a possibility for us. What I don't like to see here, guys, is that we are trying to get a move out of here, and we actually got rejected about halfway up into this channel, and sometimes that can show weakness. You can see we had a longer wick right here, so a little bit of rejection, and now we're starting to roll over. So now we're getting to that point here around that $39,000 that we need to hold. This is where we need to find support if we're going to continue this move here and try to go up and challenge that higher level of around 42,000. And you can see on the VPVR here, this point of interest is right around that $42,000 area. So this red line is still acting as overhead resistance right now. So as we're watching this, the main thing that I'm looking at, guys, I'm just being patient. I'm waiting for the market to give me more direction. I don't have to nail the absolute bottom. So with being patient here, I want to point something out. If this is an accumulation area for us, so if we step back here and this is all accumulation, and say we get something similar to what we've gotten in the past here. So we'll go to our bars pattern. And what we're going to measure here is essentially our stage 2 uptrend. And what I want to point out to you guys here, if we have something along the lines of this, if we repeat this type of a move here and we go into a stage 2 uptrend, so here's our stage 1 accumulation, stage 2, then we have a stage 3, then a stage 4 on the backside. But if we had something similar to this, you don't have to jump in down here when it's more risky, right? We'll have all this to trade and play with. And if we did repeat something similar to that, that would take us up to around $75,000 roughly. If we had that type of a move, we can also do it back here. So we can take a look at this move and how explosive this was. And then move that over and just kind of measure these things out. You know, this one could take us back up to test previous all-time highs and then potentially drop to the downside. So I like to measure these things and see potential moves if we do go to the upside. Now, if we break out to the downside, guys, you know, ultimately we look to hold, you know, around that $30,000. But for me right now, the big area is that 39,000 and we need to hold it. You know, as we're looking at this here, guys, I still feel like we have the opportunity, but we have to be patient to really get a good entry into this market. You don't always have to just nail the bottom. You can really get great trades and take the meat out of the trade in the middle here. You can see this, guys, you didn't have to nail the bottom on this bullish engulfing candle back in here. You had the rest of this time to trade bullish. So that's one thing, just always manage your risk when you're in this space. That's one thing I've learned. I don't have to get the bottom. I can trade once I get a little bit more direction. And that's what I'm waiting for right now, is a little bit more direction for Bitcoin. We really need to hold this area. It's going to be important. So that's on the one-day time frame, guys. If we step out to the 1 week here, we wanted this to be our higher low. Essentially right at this area, higher low, and then try to go back up and set a higher high, because we had our low, we had the high of the bounce, higher low, then we tried and failed here. This was almost like a double top, higher low, higher high, then we wanted a higher low. But to set this higher low, we need to confirm a daily trend change back to the bulls, and we have not seen that yet. So a lot of work to do here still. And if we step back right here, guys, just show you a few indicators. VWAP right now is negative 7.54. The relative strength is going to be at 40, so we are not trading up above that 50 showing strength yet. And then our MACD, we have not crossed to the upside either. So right now I just have not had that confirmation. For me, guys, I want to take a bigger swing when I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to try to ride the trend a little bit longer once we have clear direction. What I want to see is a weekly MACD cross and then a daily MACD cross, and that's going to put the wind at my back so that I know the uptrend's established and we're going to be going to higher prices. So right now I'm still going to continue to be patient. I've been trading in the stock market, areas that are moving, but I'm not going to force anything at this time right now. So that's going to be Bitcoin, guys. Next one we're going to move into is Ethereum. And if you get some from these videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Just want to help you the best that I can. And we're also trading below that 200-day moving average as of right now. So just being more cautious, guys. If we turn on our moving averages here for Ethereum, In white, we're going to have our 200-day moving average. If you follow many textbooks, people would say never to go long on the daily time frame until we're established and trading up above this 200-day moving average. We found support off it, and it's also moving to the upside. So right now, we would still try to be early, still trying to force trades right now if we're going to try to go to the long side. Remember, we don't have to nail the absolute bottom here. We want to get those nice uptrends, same deal. We're going to put this step back, and we're going to take a look at this stage 2 of last time. We'll see where this potentially could take us for Ethereum. So you don't have to buy right down in this area, guys. Let's get some good confirmation. So say even we were up above our 200 here and we're buying around $3,600, that would still give us a potential, if we repeated something like we did back in this range, from $3,600 up to almost $6,000 if we had that stage 2 here. So there's going to be plenty of opportunities. I feel like that's where I used to get things wrong as well. I would FOMO and go, oh man, I got to get the lowest price. It's not essentially about the lowest price. It's about trading in these trends and ripping the middle out of these trends. When things are going your way and you're up above the 30 moving average, you're up above the 50, you're up above the 200, and you got the wind at your back and you're moving well. That's when you want to be trading heavier. Right now, I've been pumping the brakes and just patiently watching and waiting this market right now. So for Ethereum, guys, we need to hold right where we're at, and that's going to be roughly at about, we'll say $3,000. We're at $2,965 right now, so we need to reclaim $3,000. If we do drop down, we're going to be looking at about $2,600 there. In terms of overhead resistance, we'd have to get over about $3,500 are going to be the main areas that I'm looking at. You can see we saw a little bit of rejection here up around this 30 moving average, which is going to be in purple. Next one, ADA. So if we step back, ADA still trading below our 200 moving average, trading below our 30 and our 50 right now. So for ADA, the critical areas that I feel like we need to hold here, roughly about where we're at, 90 cents is going to be a big area for us, and then it's going to be down around that 80 cents. So we broke out of our falling wedge here, kind of had this back test. We have not actually went to the line, but we've had a nice retracement here. So this is the area, if the bulls want to keep this moving, we need to be stepping in at these areas so we can try to push up into the 125s, then even to around that $140 level. Now the nice thing we have here in terms of the selling pressure has not been that much for ADA on the backside here. So you can see from when this whole thing started, here's our biggest selling, and it's just kind of worked its way down, guys, and that's what you want to see. So in this area, when we were looking at the falling wedge, when we had this breakdown here on very little volume, that was a false breakdown. The bears did not get follow through, and then we got that nice break to the upside. So really watch that stuff, guys. Same deal to the upside. When you get nice moves and you don't get much volume with it, most likely you're just going to roll over. So definitely things that we want to watch there. Next one, we're going to take a look at Luna. Just ripping through these quick. Let me know what coins you like to look at, guys. So right now for Luna, we ended up having a high of about 120. We've went down to $76. We had a nice bullish engulfing candle here, so that's looked good. Longer wick up to the top, so we went up to around that $100, guys. Big round psychological levels. So now we're trying to set a higher low so we can go up and see if we can get a higher high, but we need Bitcoin to cooperate. That's going to be the biggest deal for us here, is Bitcoin cooperating. You can see this is the area where we do have some buying pressure here and some selling pressure. So right all around this $85 to $95 region is going to be important, but I do like to see this nice bullish engulfing candle that came in on heavier volume for us. We just need to come down here, set a higher low, see if we can push up higher if Bitcoin's going to behave. Then let's take a look at Litecoin here, looking at 106. So for Litecoin, still trading below our 200-day moving average, and that's going to be in white, still trading below our 50 moving average, also trading below our 30 moving average. This is the area where we should hold for Litecoin if we're not going to drop down much farther, right around this 105 to 107 area. If we do go down a little bit lower, I would look to try to hold $97 is going to be the area. In terms of overhead resistance, now we have to get back up above about that 112 to 114 area. Main thing for Litecoin, we want to break out of this downtrend right here. If we could get a nice break out of that on heavy volume, then we could probably have a good decent shot of running, let's see here, guys, potentially up to about that 130, and then I would see a gap to about 153, and then it could be all the way up to that 181 if we got moving. So for Litecoin, VWAP's negative 8.68 right now. Relative strength is going to be at 43, and MACD, we did looked like we almost had a cross here. We kissed it and then we fell back down. So definitely something I want to keep an eye on there, guys. But just want to give you an update. I'm being safe. I'm being cautious right now. I'm going to wait for a great opportunity when I get a little more confirmation. That's what I'm looking for. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless you all.